He might even score more goals than Maxime Lestienne.
Exciting.
And he played under Eric Ten Hag at Utrecht.
He
But
did.
don't hold that against him. Don't hold that against him. He might still be good. Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Yahoo Footballing Weekly with me, Yahoo columnist Neil Humphreys.
And Yahoo editor Chia and Keong. And with us, our good friend, Eddy.
Hey, hello.
Yep. This time in his Lion City Sailors guise. Are you their number one fan?
No, I wouldn't say that. No.
But you're well known. I'm not blowing your trumpet, but I've asked people in the community. They all know Eddy. They all know Eddy from Lion City Sailors.
There are, believe it or not, there are more diehard supporters than me. So I wouldn't claim to be the number one
the
fan.
drummers and all the stuff.
Yeah. A lot of like what you see on match day. If you like the atmosphere, obviously some people complain about it. But if you like the atmosphere, it's nothing to do with me. It's just like tons of other people who really love the club and really put their heart on the sleeve.
It's great to see people continuing to be that supportive all the years.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in all seriousness, one of the benefits of us doing this podcast is that we've not only met people like Eddy, but even when we went to the Legends game
at StarHub Football Festival.
That's right, at Our Tampines Hub. So many people coming up to us, they listen to the podcast, but more importantly, it's the local football, the Singapore football segment that keeps building week on week. Thanks to you, and it is thanks to you, that we have a StarHub sponsor.
Yep, StarHub is our sponsor until the end of the season. And after the end of the Premier League season, is the Euros are happening. Euro 2024 are happening. And StarHub will be showing the Euro matches as well. But you have to subscribe to them. So now, from now until the 26th of May, you can subscribe to this Euro 2024 package for discounted price, early bird offer of $88. After 26th of May is $108. So still got a lot of time, but go and subscribe if you want to watch all 51 matches live. Obviously, it's on Sport TV, on the StarHub channel, Sport TV. You can enjoy the similar things like on Premier League, interactive timeline, full match replays, and more. So this is the website. You have to go and sign up and subscribe to watch Euro 2024.
Brilliant. I do love their coverage. Yeah. Now, Son Heung-min will not be at the Euros for obvious reasons. But if you're having withdrawal symptoms for that very talented man, look no further. As you know, I was with the man himself, Son Heung-min, in the Tottenham Hotspur training ground, and I watched him sign this actual number 7 jersey in his capacity as AIA Singapore's brand ambassador. And it could be yours.
This jersey could be yours.
All you have to do is
go to this link. There's a Google form. It's a Google form link, and answer this simple question in the link. In 100 words or fewer, tell us why you are a fan of Son Heung-min.
Easy.
Answer the question, and we will choose the best answer. And the best answer will get that jersey. But do it fast. We have about 1 or 2 more days to do. 26. I think the deadline is 26th of April. So do it fast.
He's doing the uncle thing. Look, he always goes uncle mode.
Do it at the top of the glasses.
And we will not judge the winners. We will get an independent third party. It will not be Eddy. I can tell you now, it will not be an Arsenal supporter. It will not. But I say that because, as I mentioned in part 1, Keong and I met a lovely family, all wearing Spurs jerseys.
Sat right next to us.
They did. And they already said, we've entered the competition.
So nice of them.
So nice. So keep entering. And I do want to say briefly, the English Premier League Legends game at the Our Tampines Hub, I really enjoyed it because in the second half, the Singapore boys were magnificent.
Yeah.
And the crowd, all right, it was a mixed crowd. Some backed the Legends, EPL Legends, some backed the Singapore Legends. But by the second half, everybody was loving the energy and enthusiasm of the Lions.
I mean, I was there for the first half. I had to leave for the second half. But when the first half, you can definitely see that the Singapore side wanted to win the game more than the Legends side. Maybe understandable. The Premier League Legends are coming in to do a lot of charity work. And maybe, just to enjoy themselves and have a nice holiday. Fair enough. But, Singapore, I mean, at least the Singapore side said, come on, we gotta show that we are at least as good as them. We can match up with them, no problem.
Yeah.
And they played so well, and then they had so many chances in the first half. They're a bit rusty, but by the second half, they're scoring.
Well, all these great names at the match.
Durek, Bennett,
both sides.
Last week's guest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But who do you think was my man of the match between the English Premier League legends and the Singapore legends by far? It wasn't even a difficult decision to make. Who do you think? Any guesses?
Rafi Ali.
Daniel Bennett.
Daniel
Bennett, friend of the show, was extraordinary in this game. He was just striding out of defence. His interceptions, his reading of the game, he was cutting out pass after pass, striding out of defence, Beckenbauer-esque. And I don't use that term loosely. He was superb.
I think the three central defenders who played Bayaki and Eddy Iskandar, they did very fabulous.
And to your point, first half, Rafi Ali, some lovely touches. Some lovely, elegant passes.
That he used, man. Wonderful.
He still got it. It was a great game. Well done to the Singapore legends.
Thank you, StarHub, for organising this game.
Yeah, it really was a good, fun event. And always, thank you for your wonderful comments. They keep coming.
Yep, they keep coming. Last week we talked a lot about issues, and then Bennett was our guest. He raised up a few issues, saying that we might have a shortage of pitches, quality pitches for so many competitions that's happening here. So a lot of comments agreeing and disagreeing. So Sydney Grounds 8467 said, "Great show again, Sai. I absolutely agree with Neil's comment regarding the Our Tampines Hub being closed. Let's face it, half of Jalan Besar, Bishan and Jurong East Stadium is empty because they don't actually act as a conduit for non-SG football passionate fans to be exposed to the game. Many times I have seen both fans and non-fans watching from the balconies and the libraries of the Our Tampines Hub for a free match as passerby spectators, which is great because it creates a lot more exposure compared to Jalan Besar, where you only go to the stadium to watch a particular match. And as a side note, I love your commentary on the women's game. Good, they do support Women's Premier League. I always wanted to see you guys collaborate with Ash Hashim, especially on the Women's Premier League, because it is a country mile behind the Singapore Premier League in distribution.
Well, I'll just say to that briefly, Ash is wonderful. I've known her for 10, 12 years now.
He was on our show.
She was on the show,
She does lots of work with the Women's Premier League, with Deloitte. I don't think she needs us old farts alongside her. I'm happy to help if she needs it, but I suspect she doesn't.
She's doing a fabulous job with the Women's Premier League. All well said. But if she ever wants us, to help her do some promotion about Women's Premier League,
we're there.
Yeah, we're here. As to your question, as your comment about, Our Tampines Hub, it is actually one side of spectators.
Yep.
But the other side, you could sneakily go into the libraries and then you can catch a free match.
It's like having an air conditioned.
Or you can stand at the parapets or the railings and you can stand there. It's not that comfortable, but you can still watch a free game here and there. Fine. I think that's a byproduct. It's fine. I love to see it as well. But the thing is, what I really want is a football stadium, which is surrounded by the spectators.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, surrounded by spectators. I think it's lacking. Jalan Besar is also one side. Jurong East Stadium is also one side. Bishan Stadium is also one side of the pitch. The other side is empty. You can see other things, which that's one of the reasons I like Anfield or even Old Trafford or even Emirates Stadium, Highbury, because it's like encased inside like an arena like that. It's almost an arena like that. All the fans are surrounding that small football pitch. No, that's where the noise reverberates.
Upton Park was the classic rectangular stadium.
Yeah, that rectangular stadium.
I think, because I cycle past every day, I think Pongal, which they're building now really far, I think that goes all the way around.
Yeah,
I think.
I love that kind of stadium design. Hopefully we can see some. Now they are constructing some or reconstructing some new stadiums. I hope the stadium.
What do you think, Eddie? You go to every stadium in the country following the Lion City Sailors. Let me ask you first about the Tampines Hub. Your thoughts on the fact that, it's closed.
Yeah, it's closed.
The pitch is closed for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think, I listened to the Daniel Bennett episode as well, and I think he's right. There's not enough pitches. And we always want I think there's a lot of talk about how we want the natural grass pitches, because that's what you get in the international tournaments. It's allegedly better for the knees of the players, but I think we have to be realistic. In a rain-heavy or erratic weather kind of climate like Singapore's, what you really need is availability. And availability is what you get from an AstroTurf. So I think the first thing to do is more AstroTurf pitches all around the country. As to Han Keong's comment about you want like an enclosed stadium, I think it's on the clubs as well to show that you can bring in the people.
Yes.
Because you see, if you have a
Yeah.
2,000 seater or 800 seater or whatever seater, but you can't even get half of that, you can't even get 3/4 of that, then it's a difficult case
I know.
to prove to the government that, hey, you need to build me a 6,000 seater stadium. You need to build me a 12,000 seater stadium. So I hope and I trust and I hope that new initiatives by the clubs will help to see that happen. Like just to share for the Sailors this season, they're gonna drop ticket prices for if you're a member, and being a member is free. So that's gonna happen. I've heard that they have exciting plans about bringing more food trucks outside the stadium.
Fabulous.
They're gonna have they really want to make sure that this season attendances are gonna skyrocket.
Yes.
And when attendances skyrocket, then I think the onus is now on the FAS and the Premier League to make sure that the product is polished, right? So now you have the 6 foreigners. Hopefully that means better quality. But I would like to say the FAS as well. I think Sydney Gronks is saying that you want to get the incidental fan as well, the one who's going to shopping at Our Tampines Hub, and you want to see. But what's that guy seeing? Is he seeing a substandard product, or is he seeing a proper product that will make him think, actually next time I should bring my family inside? So for someone, the biggest example of the incidental fan is like someone on YouTube, and then it gets pushed to him, okay, Balestier versus Lion City Sailors. Hey, watch. Is the football good? There's one. Is the broadcast good? Because right now I can tell you the broadcast standard is not good. The commentators are good.
Is the refereeing good or not?
The refereeing, is the broadcast good is what I'll go. So, if you look at it and you talk to industry experts, back in before the year 2000, they had those scaffoldings to get the camera to a good angle. Just to make sure that, it looks somewhat like the English Premier League, which we are used to day in, day out. But now if you look at the YouTube broadcast, it's just this low angle. So how do you entice those people to come to the stadium when they look at it and it looks kind of amateurish? So I would say, I know I deviated a bit, but that was my answer to Sydney Gronks actually, which is
it needs to be a whole thing.
I could not actually agree more with both of you. Of course, ideally, I want your stadium. I want an Upton Park enclosed 4-sided stadium. Of course I do, right? But I'm also living in Singapore and I have to be pragmatic. And to your point, this is why I find the shocking state of the pitch at Our Tampines Hub so disappointing, because I still believe that Tampines Hub is the practical, pragmatic template for Singapore. I was there at the weekend. I walk in with my daughter. You've got a whole group of dancers outside doing aerobics. Fantastic. Then I walk through and they've got an outdoor English Premier League screening where they often do movie nights, packed with retirees and kids. You've got a thriving hawker centre and you've got a busy shopping mall.
And you see above at the rooftop, people are running.
So people are exercising. Absolutely correct. And then in the middle of that, the glue that is supposed to hold it all together is the pitch. And the pitch is crap. It's like you've got one thing to do, one thing to hold this template together, and it all falls apart. That's why I'm so disappointed with Tampines, because I think that is the simple multi-usage community facility that realistically, not ideally, but realistically, Singaporean town centres could have. Fix the pitch, get it right so we have the template.
I think it's time that we start thinking about really fixing the pitch well, because otherwise there could be a shortage of pitches.
You could see it. You could see it in the game with the Legends. You could see why it was.
One time
they were slipping and sliding everywhere.
It's a multi-agency issue.
It's a real issue, but it ties in nicely with the next comment.
Right. Yeah. So
Steisel.
The Steisel says the only solution is to allow pitchers to rest and play sparingly, allowing the grasses to grow and recover, like play for 2 to 4 hours a day or less. Adding in times when you cannot play after rain, which is quite often, that there is very little time usable to justify the significant investment. Although I dare to say the cost of maintaining a pitch is much higher than any surface per square meter, and to add, it cannot be used by the community, unlike say the table tennis tables, badminton halls or swimming pools. You can see the trend here. Yes, totally agree that it is a priority issue. Thus, it has to be one of the highest national priorities if it is to happen. Our national stadium pitch during the big matches seem quite good. Yeah, we talk about priorities, whether it is like sort of like maintaining the stadium pitches should be a priority if we want our football to thrive lah. But now you're having Jalan Besar going to have 4 home teams for the upcoming Singapore Premier League seasons because our Tampines Hub pitch couldn't be used. So Tampines Rovers, Geylang International will play their home matches at Jalan Besar Stadium together with Hougang United and Young Lions. 4. And that takes up almost over a third of the matches of the total number of Singapore Premier League matches available. How do you expect the Jalan Besar Stadium pitch to withstand all this wear and tear?
Correct.
And then you got to think, is this a priority? Is this even a priority of the Singapore government, of the Singapore society in general? It is, I mean, what you say here is very idealistic, but in reality, a lot of things are not going to be what you think it should be.
I agree. And before I bring in Eddie, I agree with everything you've said. It is about priorities because one of the great things about doing this podcast is in recent weeks, we've had all stakeholders when it comes to pitches on our show. We've had fans like Eddie, but we've also had Alexander Duric and Daniel Bennett, Active SG. We've had Keong, who's at Singapore Youth League, and so on and so on. And the conclusion I've come to is a little bit of a depressing conclusion, which is the pitch situation in Singapore, I do not think can be fixed for 3 obvious reasons that have been presented to us. First reason, the Singapore Youth League. Before people get excited, I think it's a great idea. I do. But it's just increased demand to a higher level than ever before for pitches, which leads to number 2, the weather and school usage. Because of the extreme weather we've had lately, partly climate change, partly El Nino and so on, the pitches have been too hot at certain times of the day. So you've either got to play first thing in the morning or late in the evening. A lot of these pitches are owned and controlled by MOE. They're school pitches. They're not always available. That's number 2. And number 3, tying it all in together, national priorities. We decided to get rid of Turf City. Fine, that was our choice. We decided to get rid of Farrer Park. Fine, that was our choice. Apparently our priority is housing. Fine, that's a different issue. Can't have it both ways. As long as you've got the Singapore Youth League and you've got the weather issues and you've got supply issues, I don't see an end here. I don't see a happy ending as long as demand is going to outstrip supply, which it is at the moment. Yeah. What do you think?
No, I think I agree entirely with Stitzel actually. So Stitzel is quite perceptive to say that it's actually the ROI of what I can get if I build a hall that can be used for badminton, floorball and basketball.
Of course.
Right? And indoor hockey and pickleball and whatever. But if I build a football pitch that can and if I want to keep it like good enough for SPL football, then I got to make sure that other people don't use it. Right? And then, like not only do I have to like ban public from using it, I even have to watch whether teams can even train on it. And that's unrealistic. And it's such a big plot of land. So I think that the real solution is not to rely on the government, right? It has to be that you have to rely on corporates. And that is where I think all the clubs, all the fans, everyone has to pull in the same direction to make the SPL a more attractive product. That's the only way where the money will come in.
But Eddie makes a great point because I have to be pragmatic as well. And that's the great thing again about the Tampines Hub. When I was there, I didn't even realize they have hockey games going on inside.
In the indoor halls, everything,
everything Eddie said. So you've got guys jogging around the top, you've got dancing and aerobics outside.
And there's even the swimming pool right on the 4th level.
Swimming pool, you've got, as I say, the hockey inside and then the football. That probably has to be the way it goes.
And here's the positive things that is tied. Toa Payoh and Punggol, I think they're doing the same thing with their sports complexes. And that's going to be a good thing.
I agree completely. But let us know what you think. Send all of your comments about the pitch usage issue in Singapore to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on X, Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Right, a quick one again on the Shopee Cup. The Shopee Cup continues to get more comments than anything else. Yes, the ASEAN Club Championship.
Yep. So Shahir A. Razak Okay, you said, I think JDT, Johor Darul Takzim, not being in this competition is because FAM, Football Association of Malaysia, views this as the next tier of continental competition, which is why the AFF, when the AFF first asked FAM to nominate the teams, they put in the names of the teams in 3rd and 4th place of the Malaysia Super League, which is Sabah and Kedah respectively. But AFF wanted champions, so they settled for the next best thing, which is the runners-up for the 2 domestic cups that JDT won, Terengganu and KL City FC. I think this is the best way to view this competition, as a competition for the next tier of clubs to strive for, not as a competition for teams that are basically guaranteed ACL spots for each year. It will be a little bit of a loss from a marketing perspective, but hopefully it will be a good decision in the long run. Now, I get what you mean, but if you want a debuting tournament, you should want the best teams to start with. You are inaugurating a tournament. If the tournament starts off with a whimper, how are you going to build on it? I don't understand. Like you say, it's going to be second tier, so it features all the second tier clubs. And then who's going to watch it? Are there even going to be sponsors willing to come in other than Shopee to help build the story, the competition?
I get that part, and I don't disagree with that part, but I'm going to look at it from JDT's standpoint, maybe a little bit controversial. I want Singapore teams to aspire to be JDT, meaning that they eventually see this as a second-tier tournament.
Yeah.
That shows progress. If a team in Singapore treats this the way the Manchester City treats the Carabao Cup, that's actually progress. But we're not there yet.
No. Yes,
so the Singapore teams will probably prioritise the Shopee Cup in the short term because any silverware is better than no silverware.
Yeah.
So I want Singapore teams eventually to be in JDT's elitist position where they go, I prioritise that one and I don't prioritise that one. We're not there yet.
You're not there yet, exactly. And I think I just heard rumours that in the Thai Football League, the 2 champions, the top 2 places are Buriram and Bangkok United.
Yeah.
They might not be taking part in the Shopee Cup as well. So because now it's still to be decided. So maybe everybody wants to see see how it goes. Maybe the next the next edition of tournament they'll step in. But right now I don't know, the Shopee Cup is getting a bit of a struggle to attract the attention, to get the top club's attention. It might iron out eventually, but I think it might be teething problems as well. But hopefully it might be better.
As always, what do you think about JDT? Are they the real deal? Are they doing the right thing to sit out of the Shopee Cup? Or is the Shopee Cup the Mickey Mouse Cup? Send all your comments too.
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo _MY on X, Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Now, the team sponsored by Shopee, Lions City Sailors, another $1 million signing.
Technically not by Shopee, it's by the parent company.
Okay. It's on his shirt. It's literally on his shirt.
Left hand, right hand. Yeah.
Left hand, right hand.
It's
Left hand,
literally on his shirt.
Left hand, right hand.
All
Okay,
right,
whatever.
number 1 Lions City Sailors fan. What are you thinking for the new season?
I think there's no excuse for the Sailors not to win.
Wow.
Anything
I agree.
less than top spot would be a disappointment, and here's why. I think in previous seasons, we could at least grasp at the excuse or reason. I would say reason, not excuse. People would say excuse, but Albirex Niigata were treated specially. They had 9 Japanese players they could field on match day.
That's right.
These 9 players came from a grassroots system far more advanced than Singapore's. So you could legitimately say, how do we match up with that?
You did have $1 million signings as well.
Yeah, but
but
you can't field all of them.
Okay, all right,
that's the
fair
thing,
enough.
right? So you are at the end of the day pitting Singapore's grassroots system against the Japanese grassroots system, and there's only one winner there. But this season, everyone has the same number of foreigners.
Yep.
Right. So Albirex Niigata, if you've missed the news, they are going to have the same quota as everyone else,
They're going local, man.
which is great because that means if they win the championship, it means they get to be our continental representatives. I think that's a great development.
Then the teams don't have any more excuse.
No excuse anymore. No more excuse. Why do I say we have no excuse? Because we have the biggest budget by far.
Yep.
Right? We also have the best local players. right? Now, even though Albirex, obviously, they have a very good history in the tournament, and so they were able to attract some local players. I think it'd be a stretch to suggest that the local players they have are the best in the land. No, that's still with the Sailors, right? If you look at the national team call-ups, it's pretty clear. So, no excuse. And I think I would be disappointed if we don't... I'm not going to talk about point margins or anything, but we just have to win.
I like your signings. I'll just add, I'm impressed with your signings. They seem sensible signings. In the past, Singapore has had this track record of getting what I call flaky signings, which is big names but not practical players.
Not fit into the
system. You need
system.
a solid central midfielder and a good defender. And you seem to have got that. You've got this attacking midfielder, Bart Ramselaar. You've got a centre-back from Croatia, Tony
Dakovic.
Yep. These are sensible, practical signings, not flaky signings, washed up, has been branded names of the past. I'm not saying you did that, but that has been Singapore's tendency in recent years. They seem very sensible signings.
Exactly. I mean, bringing Jermaine Pennant in with his injury record was bordering on like senseless or negligent.
I didn't want to say his name. But
I said it.
So why would you put someone like Jermaine Pennant, as good a player as he is, right, on the astroturfs of like, all our pitches? It doesn't make any sense. But Bart Ramselaar is someone that we should really watch out for. Against JDT, he played both games and it wasn't streamed. But I guess if you were in attendance, you could have seen the way he progresses the ball, the way he links up with the other players. It's a fantastic player. And I think he has this reputation in Eredivisie for scoring more than he assists. And I think the way he's going is going to be wonderful. He might even score more goals than Maxime Lestienne.
Exciting.
And he played under Eric Ten Hag at Utrecht. But don't hold that against him. Don't hold that against him. He might still be good. So moving on very briefly, I just want to talk about the Malaysian Super League before we wrap it up. New season starting soon.
Correct. But it's almost 1 week after the Singapore Premier League
and a bit of controversy with salaries.
Yes, so last season, what happened was Kelantan FC finished bottom of the league, and it's like unprecedentedly bad. Unprecedentedly bad. They let in 121 goals in 26 matches. 121 goals in 26 matches.
That's West Ham levels of defending. That's what we
Won
want.
just twice, drew twice, and lost the rest of their games. They are just like the bizarro JDT. So it was later it was found out that the players have not been paid their salaries for a long while. And obviously, if you don't get paid a salary, why should you play well, isn't it? And for that, they were expelled from the Super League. Even though they were relegated, they were expelled. They said you cannot play this season, even in the second tier, because unless you get your arrears right, unless you get your finances right, you have to sit out on this. And this coming season, the FAM or the Malaysian League, the company, they are also coming down hard on financial fair play, just like the Premier League is doing. Because there are some teams on the border like Kedah FC, KL City FC, which are also haven't paid their players for a couple of months, and it's troubling the players, it's troubling the league, and I think they're coming down hard on teams who are do not have their finances in proper condition.
Kedah is the one that really stands out because they're seen as a title contender, challenger to JDT, and they're still in the firing line. They've got some major issues with salary arrears, and what's really heartbreaking, I was reading, it was happening over Harry Raya. These poor players haven't been paid.
Yeah, it's not good enough. Troubling. And because of this, the whole Malaysia Super League is already feeling like a procession because JDT are probably going to run over the whole league again. The last season they lost. No, they didn't lose again. 0. They drew once and won the rest 25 games. So they are head and shoulders above. They're probably going to win the 11th title in a row. But the rest of the team, if they are going to have any sign of catching up, they must get their whole everything in proper order, and then only then can you make an attempt to break the dominance, break the monopoly.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah. You watch a lot of regional football, Eddie. What do you think?
Not a huge expert on Malaysian Super League, but I mean, Keong's right. JDT is going to win again this year. But it is troubling. Even in Singapore, you've seen clubs in the past failing to pay salaries, and we all love football, and that's the last thing we want to see happen to our favorite footballers.
Couldn't agree more. We do have an increasing number of viewers tuning in every week from Malaysia, which we do appreciate.
We appreciate.
So we want to know what you think about this salary crisis in the Malaysian Super League. Send all your comments to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on X, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
You don't say Twitter anymore.
No, I don't say Twitter.
He's all about the X now.
Man.
He's all
I'm
about the
Elon
X.
Musk now. Man.
Well, thanks to our wonderful viewers on both sides of the causeway, we have a sponsor in StarHub.
Yep. As you know, they are the official Premier League broadcaster. So if you want to watch the final stretch of the EPL games and you haven't signed up yet, it costs $25.22 per month. Sign up, you get all the good things like multiple devices, UHD quality, 4K quality, full match replays, and more. And even more, if you are the pioneer generation or you are the young generation, you get the $25.22, you get it half price.
That is an absolute bargain.
Absolute bargain. Absolute bargain.
Do you know in England, there was a period where they had these box office games where one game could cost almost that much.
Yeah.
Right? Absolute bargain.
Absolute bargain.
Sign up. Speaking of bargains, this is free, my friends. As I said at the top of the show, I watched Son Heung-min sign this as an AAA Singapore brand ambassador. If you want to win this signed jersey, all you have to do is...
Here is the Google form link. Answer one question in 100 words or fewer. Tell us why you are a great fan of Son Heung-min.
You'll have to get your answers in because our good friend here is desperate to win the jersey. Eddie, the Arsenal fan.
And who knows what he's going to do with it. So we'll never know.
Great stuff. Thanks as always, Eddie, for coming on.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thanks as always for tuning in. Keep your comments coming. We do read them. We do appreciate them. And we'll see you all next week.
Yep. See you next week.
Take care, guys.
Take care.